I got steel-toed tennis shoes. But half the safety shoes are steel-toed.
Yeah.
So they bought me steel-toed tennis shoes to walk on top of that building.
Ready?
Good time,
All
huh?
right, call the meeting to order. Let the minutes reflect all board members are present. You look over the consent calendar minutes. Any additions, corrections to either?
Motion, we accept the minutes as they're printed.
Okay, motion, have a second?
Second.
Motion and second.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Okay, people from in our audience tonight, anyone have anything to discuss or talk about?
I have a question,
Yes.
and I didn't have a chance to talk to Jim about it, but has the fire truck that you guys talked about for sale out of number 2, is it already sold?
No.
Well, it was just an idea. If you want to relieve District Number 1 of, you said it's a money pit, we don't use it that often.
We don't use it at all.
Why don't, well, we just haven't had the need to use it, or?
Well, it was old when we replaced it. The board decided to replace it 2 years ago because it was old and needs a lot of maintenance. And when it needs maintenance, it's expensive, so that's why we decided to replace it. And then we went for a year, thought we might use it as reserve, and we haven't driven it at all in a year, other than driving it back and forth from Station 2 to Station 1 and back out again, just to keep driving it.
It doesn't meet current safety regulations, but as brought up, it was good to have back for a year, see if we needed it as a reserve in case we needed it. But we were taking it out of service and got rid of it before we realized we didn't need it as a reserve.
Okay. So would it, and I don't know if this would be good or not, and like I said, I hadn't talked to Jim about it, but to sell that truck to High Prairie, so High Prairie has one out there?
High
Would it
Prairie
be economical?
has another truck already. That's the second truck out there.
Oh, that's the second truck.
Correct.
Yeah, High Prairie has a truck.
It
So
does.
you're not taking any
No.
away from it?
No.
Okay,
No.
No,
okay.
no.
But for $10,000, we'd be willing to sell it to High Prairie.
Well,
Right? I agree with that.
There you go.
But no, there's 2 trucks out there.
Okay.
One we're using, one we're not.
And an ambulance.
Correct.
Well, I was just, I
Yeah.
guess, wanting clarification, like if it was just you guys trying to not carry the burden, I thought maybe High Prairie could do it for
No, it's nice, but we replaced it, is what we did. So we should have probably gotten rid of it when we replaced it, but I thought we'd see if we needed it as a reserve, and turned out we did.
How many trucks total do we have?
7, 9, yeah.
9.
Yeah.
And do we have somebody available to drive? If we had, God forbid, needed 9 fire trucks at this thing, do we have 9 people to drive them
Oh, yeah.
at one time?
Well, if everybody shows up, I mean,
Yeah, if everybody should, yeah.
depends on
including
who shows,
volunteers.
depends on who shows up, yeah.
Is about everyone on the department driver operator?
All but one.
All but one.
Yeah.
There you go, Roberta. All but one can drive all the trucks.
If everybody showed up.
Well, that one can drive non-emergency.
If everybody showed up with the equipment we got, we'd have 2 men on each truck.
Correct.
That's fact.
And is that what we strive for, is the 2 people on each truck, or?
Well, it depends on the
Does it matter?
situation. It depends on the situation. A house fire, we want more than that. A grass fire, 2's plenty. So it just depends on the situation.
90% of the time, we don't use all the trucks at one time.
No.
There's always trucks here in the station.
Because I can just see what's going to come down to 2. Are we paying for 2 new ones now?
Yeah.
Or just 1?
2.
We're paying for 2 now. So we get rid of that one, and they're going to want to replace that one, so that means 3.
No, we did replace that one
Yeah, already.
with one that's out there.
And then I'm sure you're going to try for another one. I just wondered if it was really necessary.
Yeah, down the road, we'll replace equipment as needed, but right now, we're in good shape, and that's just extra metal out there that we don't need.
Okay.
All right, Chief's report.
I have two things to add. On the roof project, they finished Friday, they pulled out. They thought they were going to be done Wednesday, and they left about 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. They still got some work to do. They've got a piece of gutter on the back to put on, and some metal on the hips to re-break and redo. And then they missed a few spots here and there, so he's going to be coming back hopefully Tuesday. So you guys signed a check tonight for, they gave us a final bill, so we held back 10% or 5% off the final bill. And that
Looks
was,
good.
that was agreeable with them, so. And then the ice guard, hopefully sometime in November, they'll be back up and put that on. The other thing I did put on the agenda, we talked about last month, was the on-call fireman. We did get a letter signed by all the guys, and I sent you guys that.
Got it.
Is that a thing that we want to start going to, start the hiring process for December?
Seems like that's all we had requested to see before you did that.
And like I say, there's only 4 guys that are eligible, so
And the other guys are not eligible just for what reasons?
they're
Age?
too old. Well, all but one of them's too old, and the other one's related to the chief, so. And he makes way more than this anyway, so he's not interested. But the 4 guys that would be eligible all signed this, and we explained it to them. I called them in my office, and we explained it to them. And
So there's 2 that are interested, it looks
there are
like?
2 that are interested, and I did explain to them that, you know, there's no guarantee, it's a maybe. So if it's agreeable with you guys, then we'll start the process, and we'll have somebody for you in the December meeting then.
Can't believe TJ didn't want to take a 50% pay cut to come here and
50.
hang out. Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Items for action. If you look at the employee manual, some things needed to be touched up and addressed.
I go through the SOPs periodically, and I started this time with the job descriptions, and like I said, no place other than when we have a beginning level fireman, he has to be an EMT, but after that, it doesn't say that anybody has to be an EMT except for senior fireman. No officer, nobody else has to be an EMT, so I wanted to change that, but we don't want to require the volunteers to be EMTs. So if we just change the employee manual, because we have an employee manual and a volunteer manual.
Employee being hired employee, not volunteer.
No, we have an employee manual, we have a volunteer manual.
Right.
So that's why this is just changing the employee manual. Those 2 sentences.
So to be full-time, you want them to have,
Yes.
all of them to be
To
EMTs?
be hired, you have to be an EMT.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that says, okay, I'm hired, I'm an EMT now, but nothing says I have to remain an
Maintain.
EMT.
So there's a maintenance on that?
Yes.
Okay.
So this will take care of that.
But we're within our power to require them to continue.
Oh, yeah.
As a paid employee, sure.
Yeah. And you guys are responsible for the employee manual, so it's out of my realm.
You're looking at number 2-1-1.
Yep, and 2-1-2,
Right.
with the exception.
And since we even require the chief to have it, so I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, we can either change all the job descriptions, and then we have to make a volunteer officer and paid officers, or we can just do it this way. It's simple, it's done, it's neat,
Yeah.
it's done. So,
Any other discussion on that?
no.
If not, need a motion to approve Section 2.1.1 and 2.1.2, additions to the employee manual.
I move we approve the so stated updates to the District 1 employee manual.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second.
I took you off first this time.
Thank you.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Dean Mulder.
Yes. Moving on to the 2015 audit contract.
It's a contract you guys do every year. It's, we have, I think, 2 years left. I looked at it, it's 2 or 3 years left on the bid that we sent out several years ago, and it's in line with that quoted price that we have from,
And we still got 2 years left?
I think we've got 2 years, might be 3 years. I looked at it and I forgot now.
Why is it already up? I mean,
No, this is what we sign every year.
oh, okay, this.
Yeah, this is the agreement every year.
For the two,
Yeah.
for the two, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like the very same.
It's the very same except the dollar amount changed like
Right.
$50. He went up $50 every year.
Yeah.
So it's the same as you guys signed this year, only it's 2 months early.
Any discussion or comments on the audit contract?
Now, is the Carver a local company or Kansas?
They're out of Kansas, well, they were out of KCK, now they're out of Johnson County.
Johnson County.
Yeah, they moved.
Kansas City, Can, Middle Ark Lane.
No, they're not on Meadowlark anymore.
That's old then?
Yeah,
Okay.
But this was bid for, right? They
yeah,
won a bid?
this was bid, but it's a contract,
When it was
so,
initially awarded?
yeah. But it's a contract as part of the signature, so.
Any other comments? Motion to accept audit contract as presented.
I move that we accept it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Dean Mulder.
Yes. All right, moving on for items for discussion. Evidently, we had a job app in here instead of a actual job description, so,
Well, we still have, the job description's never been changed officially, but there was a lot of concern back in 2011 where a lot of verbiage wanted, you guys wanted to change a lot of verbiage, so I went ahead and kind of put some of that verbiage into the job description and took out the may applies and all that, so give this to you guys to look at it and go over it.
I got a question and clarification. The yellow is proposed added, right?
Yes.
Proposed to be added.
Yes,
And the strike through would be deleted when?
Right.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was wondering.
yeah, so like candidate would be chief.
right.
Just kind of cleaned it up, okay. Any discussion on that? We'll look it over and make it an item for action next month. Unless,
Yeah, one of them is the job description as it stands today. That's the
August 22.
August of '03. And then the one of 11 was the one that got changed, make it more of an application, but and then the one of today is taking the application and cleaning it up and adding the verbiage that the board at the time had put in. So,
discussion?
Since this is a job description, do we actually have an application form now?
no.
No? I thought that was, I thought,
Well, we just have a general
Yeah,
application. We just have a general application. We have a firefighter announcement and a captain announcement. We've never made a chief's announcement.
okay, well,
Jim, we can make one.
yeah.
If that line, we can make one.
I know. No, I mean, every place I've been, it was required that you fill out an application and sign.
Yeah, we have an application here, just a general application.
Okay, that should do it.
And with the manual, the requirements are there, just like for the other paid employees.
But this is basically just a job description, same as a captain and lieutenant, fireman. Again, it's just cleaning
Look it
up
over.
what we're starting.
Struck out,
Action for next month.
meet the qualifications of a firefighter.
I thought that was kind of redundant.
Somebody might
Was
want
it,
to-
so it's already kind of
Yeah,
Something to it.
in there.
because it's already in there, and, yeah, I mean, you would want him to meet the qualifications of the captain, I would think, or the assistant chief.
Maybe
Yes.
you table it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We don't need a motion unless we're gonna vote on it, so we'll make this an item for action next month. Everybody has a chance to look it over.
So just come in with any point pen and make changes then, or what?
Yeah, feel free, mark it up, we'll talk about it as an item for action next time with discussion and go from
Yeah,
there.
if you got any changes, let me know, and we'll put them in, and
Okay, new vehicle.
okay, we've been talking about buying a Gator with some surplus funds we have left over this year, and like my note with you guys, a Gator, I think, is still a valuable tool. We would use it, 6, 7 times a year, maybe 10 times a year. But with the concern over brush vehicles and whatnot, my thinking was, instead of spending the money on a Gator, we look at it doing a pickup truck and putting a drop-in unit in it. That way we can have something at Station 2. The guys driving back and forth, I mean, right now, the guys are driving the big tanker, the pumper tanker back and forth, and we're spending, $250, $300 a month on fuel, driving back and forth, whereas we take a pickup truck and, it doubles as a brush truck, and they can run their medical calls and do their errands in a smaller type vehicle, save the wear and tear on the pumper.
But I think as Charlie said, I forget, good idea to have a brush rig out there, but that would be basically a brush rig, but not to the extent.
Not to the extent of these,
Because these are
150,
over
these are 100,
100,000.
yeah, these are 125,000.
These would be half.
Yeah.
Why don't we just move one of these out there? We talked about that.
We talked about that, and again, the volunteers, why are we losing our brush truck when, we drive, and so it's a thing I don't wanna.
That
Okay,
might
now
be-
we're taking, again, a $150,000 truck running back and forth instead of a $50,000 truck. I mean, completed.
So
about
why are we
50,000.
running back and forth on calls or only on calls is what you're saying?
Yeah, on calls, and then they'll come in here during the daytime to train. If there's any training
So-
going on, they come in for training. So,
Okay.
Well, a pickup truck would definitely have a lot more utility. Number one, speed to get to them incidents versus a Gator, and number two, any uses, for general transportation.
but like I say, a Gator, we need it. I still think it's a valuable tool. We'll use it 10 times a year, where this pickup, it'll be used almost daily.
Can you get down Angel Falls with a truck?
You can right now from the north, but not from the south, because they still got the entrance off the parking lot, but once they close that off, you won't be able to.
So a Gator could, but a truck can't?
It'll fit if you
Yeah,
get it on the sidewalk.
Yeah, if it doesn't rain, if it's not raining, then,
I was just looking at
Yeah.
potential.
my
Somebody
my
goes down back
concern, my
there.
concern is next week when they have their fall thing, it's gonna be out there, Angel Falls, and, okay, now, are we gonna be able to get down there with a vehicle? So, like I say, again, the Gator is a needed tool, but it's needed, 10 times a year compared to, we can look at a Gator at the end of next year with
Is there
leftover
one you
funds.
can borrow for next week?
Yeah, we don't go out there, because we have our open house on the same day as,
Oh, that's right.
so,
Okay.
yeah, when we need one, we borrow Chuck's if
Yeah.
we borrow emergency management if it's available.
Chuck's what?
Chuck's Gator.
Gator.
Chuck, emergency management's got one, and we borrow it if it's available.
Well, you had me going towards the Gator. I doubt very seriously.
Well, I mean, this is just an
Yeah, I'm just
option.
letting you know what we talked about and
Yes.
why we talked about
Right.
the Gator was because, again, some areas in Delaware Township and High Prairie, down in the slopes and creeks and stuff, where you
Right.
can't get a pickup truck.
Right. And
And
again, I agree with you.
that's the only reason that I would have went along with it. Now, if you're talking a pickup truck, we've already got enough trucks, whether it costs us a little bit more money for driving. And when you talk to me, and I talked to you about the Gator, I said, well, get us some prices, and you didn't have any, at least if you did, you didn't give them to us yet.
No, I gave you the prices
And
when I got here,
and-
and these are
and-
just budgeting prices, these are not bids.
And I'm just quoting what you told me.
Right.
You said, because I figured, okay, what are we talking about, 10, 12, 13,000? You said, no, we're talking 30,000. And I said, for a Gator, and if you're spending $30,000,
Would become 26.9.
that's a lot, yeah, but that's only your basic, and then you wanted to put something else on.
No, that's the total, that would be the total for the Gator.
26,000,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
And that's what when I got to looking at the Gator, and then I got to thinking, after last meeting, where everybody wants a brush truck at Station 2, and we're driving back and forth, okay, well, here's an option that, okay, yeah, we did, but, okay, I'm not a set in, we said this, I'm gonna look only at this, here's another option that would also work.
with that being said, then with the Gator, if we get it at 26,000, if we buy a pickup truck, we're talking $42,000 roughly as pro ply.
51,000 total
Yeah.
by the time we buy the truck.
I didn't add all your extras
Yeah.
on there.
And like I say, what we could do is get the truck this year and possibly the drop-in, and then we do all, we'd have to do it in pieces and parts, and we can do all the work.
But we're still gonna have areas where that truck ain't gonna get down there, and
Right, and that's why I say, we can look at a Gator next year, but, here's the pickup truck with Station 2, and everybody's concerned about it, just like Roberta said, we need a second truck. Okay, here's something that we can drive back and forth, save the wear and tear on the pumper. I'm looking at a lot of different things now. Once you and I talked, again, okay, now I've sit back and evolved, and okay, what if? And,
Yeah.
things evolve. So that's why I came up with this, to bring it to you guys'
I
attention.
don't see how you can fight a fire with a Gator. I mean, you gotta load in.
Well, you can, I mean, you
No, you can if it's only parked 5 minutes away or something, but how are you gonna drive a Gator from Station 2 or Station 1 10 or 12 miles?
oh, it's on a trailer, it'd be on a
be on
trailer.
a trailer.
It's on a trailer.
Yeah, but then a pickup truck, jump in that son of a gun, put her in high and get out of there. You don't have to load it up or nothing.
They said there's a lot of places that you
I don't know,
can
to me, it seems like a lot more value added and a lot more utility to go ahead and get a pickup truck. That's my opinion.
But right now, what's of more value? I mean, we got two options here. We have, and you're looking at funds you've got to get the pickup truck, but then put it together later.
Yeah, it would take 2 years of funding to do this.
So from the department standpoint, what do you feel is more pressing?
Well, like I said, a Gator will use 10 times a year. It will get used 10 times a year.
How much
A
water
pickup-
can a
A
Gator?
pickup truck will be used almost daily. A Gator,
Yeah, how much water?
we'll probably put a 50-gallon tank on it. Can't put much more than that on it.
And Jim, I think you're losing sight of some reason about this Gator. This Gator, not only was it for that, it was for some 200, 300 pound person that was back there that our people couldn't carry it a long distance to get to a truck. The Gator was gonna have not so much a tanker on it, he was gonna have it so they could put a gurney on it and get somebody to save somebody's life. That's what my impression was.
Well, what does the EMS do in a case like that? The EMS.
They rely on other people to help.
Yeah, they rely on us to,
Take it
to
out.
haul.
Right, and-
Right now, we put somebody in the
So the
back. and
ambulance
pick up
stops here and says, I'm sorry, I can't get down there.
That's exactly right.
It would be like Angel Falls, that trail.
Yeah.
That's what
A
I'm
Gator
saying.
could get back there with
This was
nothing else.
only for-
We've hauled a lot of people in
To
the back
save
of my
lives, is
pickup.
what this thing was for, not to fight brush fires or nothing else. We was only going on the assumption that if it was way back in the woods and somebody had to carry somebody to save their life, that's what it was for, not to be a brush fire, put a tanker on it, or nothing like that. At least that was my feeling, and I think the chief's feeling was at that time, when we talked
Yeah,
about it.
and it still needs to be that. But
Do we need to
again,
get a drop-in unit if that's the case?
do what?
Do we still need a drop-in unit if that's the case
For,
on a Gator?
yeah, we could get, yeah.
I mean,
They
if
make a drop-in unit for a Gator.
they can
and-
still get a person behind it?
Yes, they make a combination unit.
Okay.
We can come up with something, again, I just looked at the price of the drop-in unit they have on the market. And
Okay.
And the drop-in to the pickup is just a tank, a hose, and a pump.
and a
There's
pump,
no
yeah. We're not
spray in
looking
the
at- We're not
grill.
looking at anything fancy, we're looking at, basically, it's gonna be a vehicle to run the medical calls that the guys need to get when it's wintertime out there. We can't get the pumper around, so they got a four-wheel drive, they can get up the driveways.
What will the pickup carry? 750, 5 gallon?
No,
No?
pickup will carry 200 gallons max.
200 gallons?
Max. Yeah, you're looking at
That's more than
8 pounds,
50
you're
gallons.
looking at 8 pounds per gallon, so.
So either way, you're looking at using funds we have available
Yes,
to start.
yes.
Probably take a little longer to equip the truck than it would the Gator.
It would be a year-long project. We would do it, we'd
The
get the
pickup.
truck and we would do, add as we got funds available. And
And
it's totally up to you guys. It's just an option that we're, it's something we're gonna use a little bit or something we're gonna use a whole lot.
Where are you gonna get the money for this now?
It's the surplus funds we have left over at the end of the year from everybody's medical insurance.
Right, and we thought, again, unless I'm wrong, that we would have enough for a Gator, so we're not gonna have that much money left to buy a pickup.
We'll have that much to buy the truck, yeah.
but not the drop-in and all that.
Not the
other
drop-in and
stuff.
everything
This
else.
year. And you said on diesel, the pickup, I mean,
Yeah.
at preferable,
Yeah.
7,200.
How much diesel is that, the other truck run, the big truck we're running back and forth, how much is it?
About 200, I'd have to go look, but it's
So we're
pretty, it's
getting a
pretty
trade-off
pricey.
right there.
It's pretty pricey.
Yeah. All
Okay.
we're using there is like diesel.
So it's just an option, whichever way the board wants to go.
Okay, here again, any other discussion or questions? We can look this over and make it an item for action and make a motion one way or the other next month.
So we have 2 brush trucks today.
Correct.
85% of those are out in your world and in your world. But we don't have a truck out there.
Correct. There's not a brush truck out at station, or Station 2.
That's what we keep saying, we need to take one of these brush trucks and take out there to Station 2, where
It's
the
not,
fire.
not our call, it's his call.
I know.
But I'm not gonna vote for a truck. We already got 2 brush trucks. They're not being used out there today, or driving them from here out there. It just seems crazy. We'd buy a 3rd brush truck for this
Hey,
fire district.
we just need to take one of these and take out there, then those guys would have something to drive back and forth to. Period. I mean,
So, and there's also a whole nother conversation around, you're now talking about a expense of all of this driving. Not once have you put, what does that look like in front of us? I think there's an exercise to say, talking to you guys, we have a person out there full-time, we have another person that's gonna do a test. Here's the expense you can expect to have by all this driving. What does that look like? Is it 10,000 a month or a year, 12,000 a year, some number? There's probably some number there that we just need to understand to help make a decision. I think
That'd be
it's, I kind of understand what you're looking for here, but if you're gonna help us understand how much expense of all this driving, I would say, what's the expense on that truck we don't even want anymore? That's a huge, it's like 2 miles a gallon, whatever that kind of calculation looks like. Here's what a truck gets you, and start coming up with some, you and I can walk through that if we need to, and just kind of come up with what does that need to look like, so we can all kind of understand what those expenses are gonna be yearly. I think that helps sell something that you may want, but right now, I don't see it.
That'd be good information. Yeah, I agree. Okay, anything else on this topic? And with the added information, we'll make it an item for action next month. Okay. Board member concerns. Jeff?
No, don't have any.
Charlie?
again, Saturday, I talked to Steve Fitzgerald, Senator Steve Fitzgerald, and he's still requesting a letter from this fire district. He sees no problem whatsoever of deeding over this property that this fire station sits on. All he needs is a letter saying, to request to deed to the property that Station 1, Lansing, Kansas, sits on. He sees no problem. He's already had talked to people when I brought it up to you guys last time. And he's gonna talk to the warden, and he's gonna handle it for us. All we gotta do is request it and leave it alone, let him handle it.
Is it worth letting Steve have that conversation and come back to us with how that went? Because right now, we don't want to have, we think there's an issue with having a conversation with the warden, that he's going to get mad.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of what we're
That'd be
talking
my
about.
concern, because
So
we
if
get free water.
bringing this
Yeah,
up.
we called them today, we had a sewer backing up in the bathroom here, and they were down here 10 minutes later, had it fixed, and
Well,
gone.
the thing is, we just spent another $97,000 on this roof, and we talked this, and we talked it to death. And we're spending it, and we don't technically own this building. We own the building, not the property it sits on. And I don't
See,
think it's a big.
that's what I would like, is have ownership of the building. I can't see us ever getting the ground.
Well, don't we
I
own the
think
fair
you're gonna
market
get the
value?
ground.
I thought we owned the fair market value of the
Yes.
building.
They have to pay us fair market value.
That's my understanding.
Here's the
That
thing.
went through? I thought that was still up in the air.
No, that was, they have
2 years
to,
notice,
Yeah.
and pay us fair market value for the building.
if the legislature agrees to it. I think that's in there.
I felt like last time I heard, we had nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Like I said, it is not costing us nothing, and Steve is a friend of the warden too, and he doesn't mind talking to the warden and get his ideas on it before he does that. And all we need is somewhat of a letter of memorandum, or however you want to put it, requesting the deed to the property that the station sits on. Ain't gonna cost us nothing, and if it costs us some water, I'm pretty sure we can pay for our water.
Why would it cost us water, though? You mean if the warden decides not to reciprocate?
well, yeah, there's, the benefits we get from the prison, free gratis.
Right.
That if,
It's both directions, right? They get fire service and they
Correct.
provide.
Right,
Correct.
and that's what.
I mean, it's a good relationship today.
it is.
Yes.
And that's, I don't want to jeopardize that.
Agreed.
And that would never change. You know, that would never change. You know, if they give us the deed to the property, the station sitting on here, the agreement would be that we always give them fire protection, not just for this penitentiary here, the one over on 5-2. You know, I mean, that's our obligation to them for what they done for us originally. I mean, that's never gonna change.
Well, how about, let me
guess
look over
what
that
I'll say-
paperwork again that we got from the state. And then I'll draw something up and I'll get with you, Jeff.
Okay.
And then we'll visit with the chief and then send it up to him. And I'm all for if he wants to sit and visit and it's non-confrontational type
Right,
situation.
and that's what I'm saying. He, you know, and
To me,
I,
it's just fair.
right, as long as, my concern is the amount of money that the taxpayers pay for this station. And now we represent them people.
Sure.
And we just spent $97,000 on a roof here. That as long as we're willing to give the penitentiary, the state of Kansas, fire protection, I don't think it's a big deal. Somebody might be making it a big deal.
Like I say, I want to look that over because my impression was they own the property and the building that's on it unless we make a deal on it.
Right, and this was part of the conversation that I had. And I didn't go out, he just happened to be at the same meeting I was Saturday when we talked about it, because he asked me where we were at on it. And I said, well, I haven't done anything. He said, well, I just need to get a letter. And with that being said, the state of Kansas, the way he understood it, because he did do some checking into this, that they had already realized when they built the building and they gave it to us, that they would have given up the land. Whether it was official title to the property, they had that approved in Topeka before, way before this warden here was ever here, that they gave up the land. It's just nothing legal ever done about turning.
Again, I'll go over the paperwork, but my impression from the attorney, their attorney,
Right.
was we own the property and anything on it.
Right, and like I said, I think that can all be worked out.
Okay.
There's no problem as long as we agree to give the penitentiary free fire protection, like, you know. when I
Just
go
like it is
start-
now. Well, let me look that over and Jeff and I'll get together and write
I
something
think
up.
City of Lansing's gonna have the same problem sooner or later, and they got more property than we got down here on 5.
That waste treatment
That
doesn't
waste
belong to
treatment-
them.
No. And
Everything they've done to it belongs to the state.
that's a fact. They're in the same. boat.
Exactly the same, yeah.
And they know that, but we're not them. We only care about, right now, us. I mean.
Right. Okay, we'll look into it and then Jeff, you and I will get together.
That's it.
That's it.
Come on.
Sorry.
And Jim, you got your report here? Anything you want to?
Oh, yeah. You know, here again, we're running consistently a little over 1 month's worth of dollars on our budget execution. So if we, right now, you know, we have $95,316 under straight line. So if we continue that up, I mean, we continue that till the end of December. I mean, that's quite a bit of money that could be put towards a truck or a gator or whatever. But, you know, we've paid the, well, wait a minute, the roof's not in this yet, is it? No. Well, it may go down some.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But as of this month, as of September, I mean,
Right.
it's still like 95,000 under. It was 87,000 on the last one.
Right.
How much was the fix on the truck? The fix on the truck, the
26,
26,000?
2,600,
2,600.
2,600.
Okay.
The first one, the second one, the first one, because it broke and then 3 weeks later it broke again.
They fixed that
20
free?
No, it was a completely different issue.
Okay.
2,100
Same
on the
truck?
first one, yeah, 2,100 on the first one, 26 on the second one. Oh, it's got a little bit of orange light, it says money, money, money.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna run into that no matter what
Yeah.
you got, whether it's old, whether it's new.
Exactly, right.
That's just called upkeep.
That's it.
So with the checks we signed tonight, still we're, that was what, 50? the roof, finish that off?
56,000 for the roof.
So we're still looking probably 40,000.
So the total
To the
is
good.
what, 97 now? So we added.
Yeah, the roof's paid for. The checks they wrote tonight, signed tonight,
Another 50, so that,
they wrote,
Okay.
signed 2 checks, one for this week and one's for next week.
Because we approved $4,000 more or less.
Yeah, and that's not
because of-
including that 4,000.
That's not included in that.
No.
Okay. I'd just be on top of this.
yeah. Anything else?
So it's not paid for. We still owe for that.
The ice block, yeah.
Right. Which is 4,000.
Yeah, he never, yeah,
30-something,
they're still trying to,
under 4.
yeah.
Okay. So we're still 40,000.
Which would be total of 97, I believe, or close to it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're at 100% for our income this year, so we did get all the money. And we'll get a little more that we won't be able to spend. Unless you got to do a budget amendment, we can spend it.
How much?
But right now,
Reminder,
we're even. I mean, we should get about another 10,000 probably.
open house this Saturday.
Open house this Saturday.
Okay. And next meeting, November 2nd. Everybody good for that?
Yeah. So,
Second, good.
Second, okay.
I will not be here.
I'll be out of town for the
I'll
open
be in
house.
Virginia.
let me look real quick, because I'm
You
gonna
won't?
be
I'll be
someplace.
in Virginia.
Okay.
Any big ticket items? Anything to worry about?
Just
If you're
these two
gone,
things
we're gonna
we-
buy 2 trucks.
Good luck.
What are we doing? Are we staying the second, or are we moving up to the ninth?
Jeff's gonna be gone,
I am.
we'll move to the 9th. How about second Monday?
The ninth.
Fine with me.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's,
Because, like Jeff, I'm not leaving when he's leaving, but I'm leaving the 5th and then getting back to the 8th, and so I'll be in Boise, Idaho, so.
so November the
Get an orphanage
9th.
there too?
No,
Okay, November 9th?
I'm all right. That real quick. I think I'm Hilton Head.
Okay. Hearing nothing else, motion to adjourn.
I move it with adjourn.
We have a second.
A second.
Motion and second.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
yeah.
Jeff Clamp,
Yes.
Dean Milburn.
Yes.